Greetings everyone, welcome to Just Advance. This game was played in FIDE Women's Grand Prix that was held in Pune, and here with the white pieces we have the recently awarded Grandmaster, brilliant tactician, and really an absolute magician of India. We have Divya Deshmukh, and with the black pieces we have a really aggressive player, and grandmasters reaching the list of grandmasters of India at a very young age, and also she's really a spectacular positional player. We have Rameshbabu Vaishali. She is a sister of Pragananda, and both are just spectacular players, and they are super GMs. So this game is going to be absolutely amazing. So without further ado, let's start with this game. Here, just e4 by Divya. We have e5, knight to f3, knight to c6, and bishop to b5, and we have a6 now. Just going for the Morphy's defense. We have bishop to a4, knight to f6, and castles. Knight caps on e4. Just going for the main line, and now we have d4. So definitely, you don't go for the open variation until unless you have something prepared. So definitely Vaishali has something prepared for Divya, but now just comes bishop to e7, but here just rook to e1. Now nicely annihilating the rook with the king. We have b5 pushing the bishop back. Now just rook captures on e4, just going for that. And now what do you do in this position? d5 was played, and now comes a very beautiful move by Divya in this position, not trying to put the rook back, not trying to put the rook anywhere else in this position, and not moving it back, but going for this knight captures on e5. And what do you do in this position? You could move the bishop back, but everything is hanging. Bishop is hanging, rook is hanging, and even this knight is hanging. So what do you do in this position? Hey, the best move, if you try to go for this is not the best move, but if you try to go for d captures, then comes knight captures, and you can just resign basically here, because the queen is under attack, bishop is under attack, and here whatever you move in this position, let's say you play queen to d6, comes knight captures on e7. And after queen captures, because you don't want to lose your castling privileges, so you have to capture with the queen, but just bishop to b3. Now you move the bishop away, you have two bishop for the rook, and this is just very bad castles. But after bishop to f4, knight is going to be jumping in soon. Either you could play c3, and you could also get the knight into the game this way, and this is just a amazing position to have. You're just completely winning, you're up amazing amount of material, and yeah, Vaishali could resign here if she went for this. But here, after knight captures on e5, not going for any of this, Vaishali goes for knight captures on e5, and this is still opening theory actually, if you believe it or not. But here just rook captures on e5, and now comes b captures on a4. So what does Divya have in mind in this position? Because there are a lot of pawn islands, and there are 3 pawn islands for black, and actually 2 pawn islands for white. So is the endgame going to be favorable to Divya, or is it going to be favorable to Vaishali? But first we have to reach it there, and here just queen to e2. Now just eyeing this bishop. You cannot castle now, otherwise you lose the bishop. So here just bishop to e6 was played, just trying to go for this. But Divya, the aggressive player that she is, she goes for f4. And now this is still main theory. The most move that is played in this position is actually g6, just stopping that f4, and just stopping that f5. You just capture it. But here in this position, also second best move is king to f8. That was played by Vaishali, but now just comes f5, and we have bishop back to d7, but just knight to c3, just developing that knight. Also comes with the tempo towards the d5 pawn. So what do you do in this position? Here the best move that is in the position f6 was played immediately by Vaishali. So definitely she has come prepared, and she is deliberately going for this, and this is obviously her prep. But now just comes rook to e3, and now we have bishop caps on f5, just finally grabbing that pawn. Queen to f3, now just attacking the bishop, attacking the pawn. And if the queen ever moves, there could be some pressure towards that rook as well, so you have to be careful. Knight is also capturing, there's going to be pressure against the bishop, so position is very volatile. You have to be extremely careful even if you are coming prepared. Here just queen to d7. Now again, as I told you, have to be careful. Just knight captures on d5, and now comes this. Now in this position, there are a lot of moves you can play. The best move is just get the rook out of there, because whenever the knight captures, there's going to be a tempo on that rook. So you're going to lose the piece otherwise you just lose the rook, so you don't want to do either. So get the rook to e8, defend the bishop, and your position is going to be absolutely amazing. You go into the end game, maybe somewhere along the line you push the pawn, maybe you play this, you get the rook into the game, connect the rooks, and the position would be absolutely amazing. Not there, but obviously rook there. So yeah, that's something that you could do. But in this position, Vaishali for some reason thought going for bishop to g4. So whenever now Divya will move the queen, she will go for the idea. But in this position, Divya plays a spectacular move. She goes for the best move in this position, which is this beautiful queen sacrifice, which is this knight captures on f6. And now the queen is hanging, this queen is hanging. There are some ideas of this. Rook is hanging there. Absolutely everything is hanging here. Bishop caps on f3 was played. If you don't capture, there is nothing in the position, so here just knight caps on d7, but here just king to e8, attacking the pin, attacking the knight. But now just knight to c5, and now what do you do in this position? You have to get the bishop back. Bishop to c6 was played, but now just comes rook to e6. Rook to e6 is a brilliant move with the idea that bishop to g5, and now that piece is going to be falling. So here just bishop to d7 was tried, but just comes this rook to e5 with the same idea. You have to defend against that. So h6 was tried by Vaishali, but now comes this bishop to d2. Now same idea is going to be implied with this with the other side of the board. Rook to f8 was tried, but just rook a to e1. We have rook to f7, but just bishop to b4. And now there are a lot of threats. There's a lot of tension here, and you have to be very, very careful. Only move is rook to b8, but now comes bishop to a3, and it was on this move, on just move 26, that Rameshbabu Vaishali resigned the game, and Divya Deshmukh, the absolute magician, got this victory in just 26 moves. Not only that, she played this game with an accuracy of 100%. That's absolutely mind-boggling. And I mean, this is just a beautiful, beautiful example of what could go wrong. Even when you're coming with your preparation, you play a move just a little bit here and there, and your opponent is gonna absolutely crush you if she is the magician of India, obviously. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll be coming back with games like these, so stay tuned to the channel, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be seeing you guys very, very soon. Thank you all for watching, and do stay updated.